Shivers ran down my spine as I stared at the chilling text message, unsure of what to do. My heart pounded in my chest, torn between the logical explanation that someone might be playing a sick joke and the eerie feeling that something supernatural was at play. Determined to find the truth, I called my deceased friend's number. To my horror, the phone rang from somewhere inside my own house. My mind raced with disbelief and terror as I followed the sound to the attic. With each creaky step up the stairs, my anxiety intensified, and the darkness seemed to press in on me. As I reached the attic door, the temperature dropped dramatically, and a gust of icy wind swept through me, carrying an unmistakable whisper. "Help me!" My body trembled as I hesitantly pushed the door open, revealing a haunting scene that defied all rational explanation. In the dim light, I saw my friend's phone lying on the dusty floor, its screen displaying the same ominous message. But what was more unsettling were the faint footprints leading away from it, footprints that disappeared into thin air. Fear took over as I felt an eerie presence in the room, an unseen force watching my every move. I couldn't shake the feeling that my friend's spirit was trying to reach out from beyond the grave. My logical mind screamed that this was impossible, but the evidence before me told a different story. Overwhelmed by the paranormal situation, I decided to contact a medium, hoping to get some answers. As the medium arrived at my home, her face turned pale as she sensed the lingering energy of a restless spirit. She confirmed that my friend's soul was trying to communicate with me, warning me of a malevolent presence that had latched onto my home. With the medium's help, we conducted a ritual to cleanse the house of any negative entities. During the intense ceremony, the atmosphere grew oppressive, and I felt a sinister presence resisting our efforts. But eventually, the malevolent force was expelled, and a sense of peace returned to my home. Though the ordeal was over, the experience had left a lasting impact on me. I couldn't shake the feeling that the boundary between life and death was thinner than I had ever imagined. I found solace in the belief that my friend's spirit had reached out to protect me, one last act of friendship from beyond the veil. From that day on, I kept my friend's memory close, cherishing the bond we had shared while also being more aware of the mysteries that exist beyond the realm of the living. I couldn't believe my ears when the scratching on the walls suddenly ceased as soon as I called out my cat's name, Whiskers. The eerie silence that followed made the hair on the back of my neck stand on end. I glanced at Whiskers, who was calmly curled up beside me, seemingly unfazed by the strange occurrence. My heart pounded in my chest as I cautiously scanned the dimly lit room, trying to make sense of what had just happened. The walls, once covered in claw marks, now appeared normal and undisturbed. Confusion and a sense of unease washed over me, but I couldn't dismiss the eerie connection between Whiskers and the mysterious events. I decided to get up and investigate the room, taking slow and cautious steps toward the walls. I half expected the scratching to resume, but everything remained still. It was as if calling out Whiskers' name had banished whatever was causing the disturbance. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something peculiar was happening. Whiskers yawned, stretching her paws before leisurely getting up to join me. She had a way of radiating calmness and reassurance, which helped ease my nerves a bit. I petted her gently, grateful for her presence in this strange situation. As I examined the walls more closely, I noticed faint marks that could have been made by a cat's claws, but they were far less intense than the vigorous scratching I had heard earlier. My mind raced with possibilities. Was there some kind of spectral presence mimicking Whiskers' actions? Or was it just my imagination playing tricks on me? With each passing minute, my curiosity grew stronger. I decided to stay in the room, observing every detail, hoping to catch any further signs of the bizarre phenomenon. Whiskers seemed content to stay by my side, occasionally glancing at the walls as if she, too, was trying to figure out the mystery. As the night wore on, the scratching didn't return, and I began to wonder if the whole episode had been a figment of my imagination. Maybe the stress of recent events had finally caught up to me, causing me to conjure up strange occurrences that weren't real. Eventually, exhaustion took its toll, and I decided to lie down with Whiskers beside me. With her warm presence and gentle purring, I found solace in her company, and sleep slowly embraced me. In the days that followed, there were no further disturbances. Life resumed its usual rhythm, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something extraordinary had happened that night. Whiskers continued to be her usual self, a loving and playful companion, but I couldn't help but wonder if there was more to her than met the eye. From that moment on, I developed a newfound appreciation for Whiskers, knowing that there was something special about her, something beyond the ordinary. Whether it was her unique connection to the unexplained or simply her ability to provide comfort when it was needed the most, she had become an extraordinary part of my life. And as I watched her playfully chase shadows across the walls, I couldn't help but smile, knowing that no matter how strange things might get, having Whiskers by my side made everything a little more magical. As I quickened my steps, hoping to leave the unnerving presence behind, the echoing footfalls mirrored my every move, refusing to let me escape the eerie sensation of being watched. Glancing over my shoulder, I saw nothing but empty streets and dimly lit alleys, yet the sound persisted, steady and unyielding. My heart began to race, and a shiver ran down my spine, as if a cold breath was whispering at the nape of my neck. Each step I took, the presence behind me mirrored, a haunting reminder of my unseen pursuer. The moonlight flickered through the branches above, casting peculiar shadows on the ground, as if the darkness itself was conspiring against me. Fear and curiosity warred within me. Part of me wanted to confront this mysterious follower, while another yearned to find safety in the embrace of familiar faces and bustling crowds. Every attempt to alter my route or break away from the unending echo of footsteps proved futile. It was as if an invisible thread tied me to my silent stalker, preventing me from escaping their enigmatic grasp. As minutes turned to hours, the night grew darker, and my mind swirled with questions. Who could be following me? Why were they matching my every move without revealing themselves? My senses heightened, and every sound around me seemed magnified. Rustling leaves, distant sirens, and the faint hum of city life all merged into an unsettling symphony that drowned out my thoughts. The feeling of being relentlessly pursued gnawed at my nerves, yet a part of me couldn't help but feel intrigued by the mysterious presence, an unsolvable puzzle that demanded my attention. With an internal tug-of-war between fear and curiosity, I pressed on, determined to understand the enigma haunting my steps. No matter how fast I walked or how many turns I made, those matching footsteps remained my steadfast companions in the night. Amidst the dusty attic memories concealed, I stumbled upon a drawing, a past revealed. In hues of innocence, a world so bright. Yet one image stood out, engulfed in eerie light. A chilling scene, unknown to my mind's domain. A tableau of darkness, causing my heart to wane. A twisted landscape, shrouded in despair. Where nightmares danced, and innocence laid bare. Intricate details depicted a haunting face. A child, like me, lost in a shadowy embrace. Their eyes held secrets, a glimpse of fright. A mystery locked in this artwork's blight. Who was this artist, with visions so bleak? Drawing horrors unseen, emotions unique? Recollections faded, like mist in the morn. As I peered closer, nostalgia was torn. Was it a dream, a fleeting terror born? Or did I conjure darkness amid innocence forlorn? Questions unanswered, time's sands slip away. Haunted by a creation in disarray. The days continued, the puzzle persisted. The unknown drawing, a riddle unsifted. Seeking solace in the lines I'd penned, I hoped to decipher where fears descend. In whispered corridors of long-lost tales, I sought the truth beneath the veils. Yet, the deeper I delved, the more I feared. The memories buried, the more they leered. A specter from childhood, cloaked in disguise. A secret unveiled in that picture's guise. Confronting the past, shadows grew dense. Unlocking forgotten fears made no sense. Embracing uncertainty, I journeyed on. A troubled soul, with courage now dawned. In the cryptic drawing, a message I found. A plea for help in the lines so profound. Buried emotions, they needed release. To heal the wounds and find inner peace. As I embraced the artwork, fears embraced me. Acknowledging the darkness was the key. The drawing I found, a portal to the past. A cathartic journey, shadows recast. With newfound insight, I faced the night, transcending the fears that once held me tight. Now, the artwork finds its place anew. A reminder of strength, to myself, be true. In every stroke and vivid hue resides the essence of all I've been through. The childhood drawing, once disturbing, unclear, now stands as a symbol, a testament dear, of how we confront the demons we face, and find healing, love, and inner grace. It was a dark and stormy night, and I had just settled into bed after a long and exhausting day. The patter of rain against my window provided a soothing backdrop, and I could feel myself slowly drifting off to sleep. Little did I know that this peaceful night would soon take a terrifying turn. As I lay there, my eyelids growing heavy, a sudden chill raced up my spine. It felt as though a frigid breeze had slithered into the room, causing me to shiver involuntarily. I brushed it off as a draft from the storm outside and tried to ignore the unease creeping into my mind. Just as I was about to close my eyes completely, I felt an unmistakable touch on my ankle. It was as if an icy hand had reached out from under the bed and grabbed me with a vice-like grip. My heart leaped into my throat, and my eyes shot open in terror. My mind raced with questions. What was that? Is there someone under my bed? Summoning all my courage, I mustered the strength to look under the bed, half expecting to see a lurking intruder or a sinister creature waiting to pounce. To my bewilderment, there was nothing, just darkness and the occasional glimpse of my scattered belongings. A wave of relief washed over me, but the sensation of that cold hand lingered, making it hard for me to dismiss the encounter as mere imagination. As rationality battled with fear inside my mind, I decided it must have been a trick of my tired brain, maybe a muscle spasm that felt more ominous than it was. With a nervous chuckle, I chided myself for getting spooked so easily. To ease my nerves, I got out of bed and turned on the lights, dispelling the shadows that had played tricks on my mind. I even checked every nook and cranny in the room, reassuring myself that I was alone. Feeling slightly more composed, I settled back into bed, still keeping the lights on for comfort. I tried to convince myself that it was all a product of my imagination, but sleep remained elusive. The creaks and groans of the old house seemed louder than ever, and the storm outside had intensified, adding an eerie atmosphere to the already unsettling situation. Despite my best efforts to ignore my unease, my imagination began to run wild. I couldn't shake the feeling that something otherworldly had reached out to me from the darkness under the bed. As the night wore on, I found myself tossing and turning, unable to escape the haunting thoughts.